Hey guys, Chris here from Carolot Farm. I am starting my morning like most, feeding the horses. I've already put morning hay out, and I now am going to go ahead and give Sweetheart and Rocky their morning grain. Rocky has been getting a little bit of morning grain for the last week and a half, so they'll be coming up here shortly. And then I'm going to head to the garden this morning. It's quite early. As you can see, the sun is not very high. It's really very foggy this morning. So I don't have my sun shirt on just yet. I think I'll be fine. But I do have some peppers and a few other random plants that need to get into the ground. So first things first, feeding the horses. Rocky only gets, I don't know. It's a little under half a pound right now. It's not a whole lot. We do moisten it. It's Triple Crown Senior, just like Sweetheart. They're both eating the same grain. And he does a pretty good job not spilling it. And so I've just been putting it in his little feeder. Whereas Sweetheart, I do have to tie her bucket up because she will paw and knock it over. So their feed is ready. And I'm going to go look for them. I'm a little surprised that they have not spied me yet. They're down the corner eating. I do need to go ahead and unlock their gate though. I go ahead and I lock this, and that way it keeps anyone from opening up the feedlots prematurely. Sometimes they want to go in and graze, which isn't a big deal, but I would just prefer them to stay out of the feedlots until I'm actually ready for them. So, you can see I've put some hay out here, a few piles, and they're pretty happy down there grazing, which is always a good sign. So might have to go ahead and call them here in a minute. Maybe Sweetheart will see me. Rocky sees me. He's like, I'm ready for breakfast. He's caught on real quick. When I came to put hay out about 30 minutes ago, both Sweetheart and Rocky were hoping I had grain, but I told them they'd have to wait just a few more minutes. But they know the routine. Hey, sweet boy. Gotta go in. I know, you're gonna say good morning first. Come on. Come on, Rox. Come on. Come on in, mister. There's thing one. And here comes thing two. Usually she whinnies and is right here. Now that everyone is eating, I'm gonna lock up the feedlots and head to the garden. Like I was telling you, I've got some planting that I want to go ahead and get started on before it gets too sunny and warm. Don't mind our carport, it's a bit of a mess. There's our camper, that's Caroline there. In the early stages of repair, we kind of happened upon this old vintage camper from a friend that was being overgrown in his field. And so we brought it home and we started taking it apart, and we just never got it put back together. But Caroline is still there, always on our mind. Anyways, what I was saying though is, before I was distracted by my messy carport, I am going to put some cardboard down in the garden this morning so that when I'm kneeling to plant our last few peppers and eggplants, I don't get too muddy. So that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm hauling a load of cardboard over, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I like to put cardboard down on my pathways for kind of two different reasons, right? One, it gives me somewhere dry to kneel down or to sit, to kneel, to, weed and such. But it also is really, really helpful at kind of deterring weeds. So we use a lot of cardboard as weed barrier. So, we've got our family and friends saving us Chewy boxes and Amazon boxes. So, I've got a stash here under my arm. If you have someone who has something on auto ship, maybe it's dog food, or I have a friend that gets horse grain from Chewy, you get the same size box over and over, which is really great because when I'm laying down my paths, some of my paths are a little closer together than others. I'm just eyeballing things usually when I lay out the garden. So I really appreciate these boxes that I can get that are all similar in size. If you haven't noticed, I do like uniformity. So again, my brother and sister-in-law have just given us a bunch of chewy boxes. I have another friend who's saving chewy boxes, and so we're really happy to have cardboard. We really, really, really appreciate our friends who are saving that for us because it makes our life so much easier. I've stepped away from the garden just momentarily, and I'm going to turn Sweetheart and Rocky out. Whenever I see they're finished eating, I do like to go ahead and turn them out. There's just no need to have them standing in here. The bugs are bad. I've not yet put fly spray on. Once they finish in the garden, I'll come and groom everyone and then spray them. So I'm going to turn these two guys out and then get back to the garden. Another reason for this early morning planting, we have been using this extra litter box here as a kind of a carrying tray for some of our plants. And we have noticed that our cat Bruce seems to have an injured paw. It's a bit swollen. We're suspecting it might be a sting of some kind. It could be that he got into a fight and it's a bite mark. We can't seem to find, though, any sort of like cut or scabby spot on it. So he is in the house so we can monitor him more closely. And I just need my extra litter pan here. So I'm going to go ahead and get these plants into the ground kind of ASAP this morning so I can rinse out this litter pan and use it for him, just to give him an extra litter box in the house. Now that we have the extra cat inside, we just need to have extra everything. So that's another reason I'm trying to beat the heat as well as the sun, which is climbing higher. We do have a few things coming up today, and assuming Bruce is well enough, we're going to keep watching him. Like I said, we are actually trying to head to Durham to visit some family. So our house sitter is planning on coming this evening. But again, we just need to make sure that everything and all the animals are up for that. So today's a busy morning. We've got a lot going on, and I am now heading to the garden. I'm just preparing my hole here for our hatched chilies, and I am seeing a couple of worms, which are always a good sign in the garden. So this should be a very happy place for our hatch. I think we have 3 or 4 hatched chilies. We're very excited about these this year.
As I am preparing to put more cardboard down on my pathways, I have just found a little dill plant. I'm pretty sure it's dill. I'll have to check it out.
I thought I would smell this to see, and it is dill. So that's exciting. We do a lot of dill pickles. I don't think we've planted dill, though, for a year or two. So I've transplanted this plant, and I did see at least one other dill plant popping up. So I'm going to go find that now, and then we'll find a safe place because we will definitely use these guys. So that's exciting. Nice find. Here is one of those volunteer tomatoes, and I was telling you we have a bunch of them. You know, I think I'm going to let them, here's another one here. I think I'm going to let them just kind of hang out in the garden, keep growing. You'll see more of them coming up through the weekend. And then first of next week, I will need to go ahead and make a decision. You know, do I dig them out and try to rehome them, or do we just pull them? Because as you see, they're sitting right here next to our other tomatoes, and we just have so many tomatoes. And having grown these cherries in the past, which I'm pretty sure they are, they really can go wild. So we don't need more than a few of them. So we'll have to make that decision first of the week.
This lower quadrant of the garden that has just been tilled is where we will plan to put our squash and zucchini and probably okra in the future.
I'm gonna carry my new transplants. I actually have 4 dill, 3 more cherries, and then some mystery. I don't know, we dug this one mystery plant out last weekend maybe. It hasn't grown much, I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm gonna carry these up to the house now and just sort of unload them so I can clean out my litter pan. It's just as full going back to the house as it was coming down. So that's what I'm up to right now, but I wanted to mention the boxes that we use. We use a lot of Chewy boxes and Amazon boxes. Well, We have never really had a Chewy, subscription ourselves. And so the first Chewy boxes we got were from a friend last summer, and they were great. We used them to like protect our pumpkins that were really kind of going wild. So we were a big fan of those larger boxes. But this year, my brother has also been giving us some. And I've got to say, I'm a really big fan of Chewy boxes because of the tape they use. They use just the clear packing tape, and it's so much easier to pull off and remove from the boxes before you lay them down. Whereas the Amazon boxes have that string tape. I know the tape adds more strength and it protects your packages more, but for what we're using the cardboard for, it makes it a little harder, not only to remove it, but then if you don't remove all those little bits of tape at the end of the season, if you go to till your cardboard into the ground, which we do sometimes, certainly the cardboard that is really beginning to break down more, we just go ahead and till it into the soil and it helps add a little extra to it. But when you have that stringy tape, it then can get caught up around the tines of your tiller, and it's not as ideal. Whatever they use to make that string out of, it really takes a long time to break down. So at this point in the season, I'd say I'm a bigger fan of Chewy boxes than Amazon.
Our sugar snap peas are one of the first crops to ripen this year. And the other crop that we have also already eaten has been our asparagus. And so the asparagus is finished, but we're still getting a few more sugar snaps.
I have stepped away from the garden for just a short bit. I want to put my fly repellent on everyone. I've been putting the swat on like up under their bellies and maybe between like their legs, just places where I know the ticks and the little gnats and all can be really irritating. And then I've been using the piranha fly spray this spring. To me, it's been working really well, so I see no reason to change. But I do want to go and get this on everyone and then head back to the garden because we have a bunch of sweet potato slips to put in. We picked them up just yesterday from our local farm and garden store. So those definitely need to get to the ground, and fingers crossed, nothing eats them this weekend. As we journey through this first year with our miniature horses, we're really, trying to document and keep track of how much they're eating and what are their preferences, and really just trying to get a sense for the ebb and flow throughout the year. I'm betting you I'm giving the horses probably 2 to 3 flakes of hay in the morning right now that I see they're eating it well in the stalls. And then maybe just 1, possibly 2 more in the evenings. But again, that's sort of dependent upon how much they seem to clean up during the daytime. So I'm trying to just be really flexible with that and kind of letting the horses take the lead and let me know how much they want and need. Right now, everyone's pretty happy out in the field. There's a little breeze blowing, but we do have a bunch of bugs. I think it's inevitable. So even though they've got their fly spray on, you can see a few tails swishing, a few head shakes here and there. But they're not too irritated. If they were, they'd be coming up into the barn. So that's a good sign.
Now that we have finished up with the horses and they are all settled for the day, it's time to head back into the garden and work on planting our sweet potato slips.
We're just now finishing up the morning in the garden. I have put my liquid fence spray on pretty much everything since we'll be out of town, just to be on the safe side, in case another critter comes in over the weekend. But I think today we planted 40 sweet potato slips. I transplanted 4 different dill plants. And then, we dug a few tomatoes out. And what else did we do today? I think I planted 6 or more other pepper plants. So a really good day in the garden. And now it's just time to water everything, and it should be good to go for the weekend. So hope you enjoyed following us along today, and check back soon because, as you know, we're always up to something. Bye, guys.